Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this really awesome design. So it was done using Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different stems to make our consonants. So this is like a B by itself with no modifiers. This is a B stem with 2 dots, making it a CH. B stem with 3 dots is a D, so on and so forth. Vowels are a bit trickier. They're always smaller circles, unless they're enclosed inside a consonant stem, in which case they can be a bit bigger than normal because only vowels can be enclosed inside consonants. Anyway, technicalities. Point being, this is like an E by itself. This is a B-E. This is a J-E-T-E, T-H-E. So this word, reading bottom counterclockwise, would be ebejetete. Huzzah! So that's the basics. It makes most sense in practice, so let's go ahead and look at this design. So I did 2 jarringly different styles in this, one for the sentence and then one for the family. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the family first because it's actually easier, this little broken up style. So again, bottom counterclockwise, here's the bottom, this is the first thing you hit, and this is our first word, and this is our second word. So first letter, second letter, so on and so forth of the first word, and then first letter, second letter, so on of the second word. So here we have a omega stem, this stem, with 1 line on it. So that is a G. And then we have a little circle outside the word circle, which is an A. And then we have a shallow divot like this with 3 dots. So that is an R. And then we have a circle inside the circle with 3 dots. So that is an L. And then we have another A. And then a circle inside the circle with 1 line, which is an N. And then we have 1, 2, 3 dots. Dots can be big, small, whatever, inside, outside the circle, whatever, as long as you can tell that these 3 go there, these 3 go there, and these 3 go here. That is a D. So deep divot as opposed to a shallow divot. Shallow divot, deep divot. It's all about the percent completion of the circle. So 50% or less is an R. More than 50% is a D. So, yeah. So this is the garland, and then we have this next word. Here we have another deep divot with 1 line, and now these 2 are kind of sneaky lines. So this line and this line actually both count for the F here. Sorry, I forgot to turn my notifications off. So 1, 2, 3 lines for the F. And the lines, they can curve, they can go inwards, outwards, sideways, whatever. So F, and then we have another A, just like that. And then we have 1, 2, 3 lines on the M, because M. And then we have an I, small circle line going towards the middle, like that. So I. And then we have 3 dots on this L, just like that L, and then 3 dots on this Y. And I put a little space here so you could tell this dot goes here instead of here. Because this one had kind of like that line dividing it for these 3 and these 3, plus there's no such thing as a 4 dot shallow divot. But anyway, that's just to help clarify that this is an L and this is a Y. So there we have the Garland family. And then let's go ahead and read the sentence. So here's the bottom of the word circle, continuing around. Here's our first letter. This is an A. And then we have this, which looks kind of like that M, except this line doesn't end on it. It passes right through, and only lines that end on things count. So this is only 1 line ending on it. So this is an N, just like that N. So A, N, continue around. Here we have this, which has a dot touching here and a dot here, closest to this. And this dot goes with this stem, so just 2 dots here. So that would be a Y. And then we have a B with an O on it, like a bead on a string, O. And then we have this. And it's deep divot, and it's got some dots, and let's figure out how many go with this and how many go with this. Well, if they're closer, they count for whatever it's closest to. And this one's touching here, and this one's touching here. So these 2 go here. This one's touching here, part of the stem. This one's obviously part of the D. Oh, I spoiled it. It's a D. And this one's obviously here because it's touching. So 3 dots here, make that a D. And then 2 dots here, make that a Y, just like this Y. So anybody is our first word. This is just decoration, 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 making some more anchor points. So anybody, here we have the next word. Here's the bottom of the word circle. And even though this is angled off a little bit past 6 o'clock, because it crosses that 6 o'clock line, it counts as the first letter, as opposed to this E. So R, E, oh, R. This is an R again, 3 dots on a shallow divot. R, E. And then we have this, which has a thin line and two thick lines. So thinness, thickness doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3 lines in it. So that's another M. And then O, like a bead on a string. O, continuing out here, we have a T. nothing modifying it, E, and then 3 dots on the L, so L, and then another Y, so remotely. Then we have our next word. So this is actually part of the sentence. This is a line on the M. This is a line on the I. So these aren't decoration. So don't get rid of these. This is decoration here, though. And then we have this word. Here's the bottom of it. Here's an I, N, T, E, 3 dots, R, E. Okay, so this we have a stack stem, which is something we haven't seen before. If you have 2 of these letters in the same row in a row, you can stack the stems. So this double line means it's a double letter, and because they're 2 different lines, thicknesses, it's 2 different letters. So you read thin to thick. So this thin one you'd read first. So let's look at that thin one. So it's a shallow divot, so it's in this row, and it has 1 thick line, 1 thin line, and then the other thick line ending on it. So 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. So that is an S. And then we have this thick one. So this is the second stem you'd read, and it has nothing ending on it. So that's just a T. So I-N-T-E-R-E-S-T, and then we have another I with a curvy line. And then we have this line on the stem. So this is one of these stem. This is this stem line on our word circle. So it's in this row. And let's go ahead and look at the lines that end on it. 1 line ending on it, 2 lines, 3 lines ending on it. And yep, lines can be sneaky and curve around and do whatever. But these 3 lines end on the stem, so they all count. So that makes it an NG. So interesting. And then we have this dealio here, which is actually several words in itself. If you look at this thing, it doesn't really follow the basics of a sentence circle. In fact, it breaks here, and it breaks here, and those aren't vowels. So these are just the lines on this M. So this isn't our sentence circle, our word circle. This isn't our word circle because it breaks here. This is our first real word circle here, this one. And it, bottom counterclockwise, is an I with a 1. This line passes through, so it doesn't count. 2. The third one is actually this little guy right here. 1, 2, 3 lines on that S. So is, because little guy. Then the 2 thick ones, because this one passes through, so it doesn't count. So is. Now we have this word. Here's the bottom. Here's our first stem. 1, 2, 3 lines on the M. A hanging outside the word circle, continuing around. Here is a big divot, or deep divot, with 1, 2, 3 dots closest to it. So mad. Also note, this is just the line from the S, and this is also just a line from I to S. So this is not on any stem or anything, it's just on a line closest to this stem, so it for sure counts as the D dot. Anyway, getting into the tiny little bits. Let's go to the next word, which is here. So here we have the bottom of it. Lots of things passing through lots of things. But this is our first letter. It's a small circle with a line going towards the middle, so that is an I. Then we have this thing, which has a lot of lines passing through it. And passes through, passes through, passes through. This one finally doesn't pass through, so that is an N. And then these 3 all don't pass through as well, so that's just an N, so in. Here we have our next word. Here's the bottom of it, and we don't hit our first stem all the way until here. So even though this one is lower, it doesn't cross that 6 o'clock line, so it's not at the bottom. So there's some fiddly bits. But anyway, I'm pushing the letter order on this word because I really wanted this little curvy bit to connect up here, because I really wanted the S to be the first letter, so I stuffed the M all the way over here. But anyway, here's our first letter. 1, 2, 3 lines makes it an S. And then we have an O, small circle inside the word circle like that. And then here we have an E. We read the M first. So 1, 2, 3 lines on the M. And then the E is in the middle of it. So like this with an E in the middle of it. So here we have S-O-M-E, so some. Then we have this word, bottom counterclockwise. Here's our first stem. Shallow divot, 2 lines, so that's W. I forgot the dots. No! Okay, no, I did a thing. Let me fix it real quick. I'm almost done. Okay, so I did a W instead of a WH. Woe is me. So WH has a dot. Yeah, so that should be a WH. Oh, W-A. W-A-Y. This says way. It's supposed to say way, not somewhat. It's some way. Okay, I don't have typos. I've been working on this project a lot. W-A-Y spells way, because we're writing some way or another. Yeah, okay. So W-A-Y is correct. Yay, I don't have to fix things. Haha, yay, brain. Okay, W-A-Y. Correct. I'm good. It's good. And then we have our next word here, little circle O, just like this little circle O. 1, 2, 3 dots, all closest to this stem because this is just decoration, so meh, it doesn't matter. So O-R, and then we have this last bit. Here's the bottom, first letter A, N-O-T-H-E-R. 1, 2, 3 dots on the R. Or another. Done. Yes. Haha. No typos. It's all good. And also, everything is touching. I did the color testy checky thing. When I click on the black, all of it lights up, so that's good. And there's no completed circles in the cutout bit. So, like, I broke up the A there, and all that jazz. So it should work. Direct to door. So, yay. Woo! Huh. That was a marathon of a project. It looks awesome. I'm super proud of it. I hope you love it too.